Hey everyone, welcome back to a Cowgirls World Tour podcast. Today we are joined by one of my favorite human beings on the planet, Hika. She is my personal inspiration all the time. I just love her so much. She's from Japan, she lives in Dubai. She has been on the podcast before, and I just love having conversations with her. Christmas just around the corner. I wanted to chat about different traditions, holiday traditions between Japan, North America, Eastern European, Middle Eastern region, how they spend their holiday season, different cultures, religions, just a mix of stuff, which I thought would be kind of fun. As we are recording, it is December, so we're all in the holiday spirit. Well, I'm in the holiday spirits. I just love the vibe. So I thought it would be fun. So enjoy, and here we go. I'm so happy to talk to you again. Yes. It's been. But you've been busy. I've been busy too.
Yes.
But you're in Dubai right now, yeah?
Yeah, that's my
You're at
little
home?
studio, my
You're
chapa
at home?
cave. Yeah. It's like my, like secret, not really secret though. It's my safe haven. I can just be the way I want to be. But yeah.
Ime. Are you in like a tall apartment?
Actually though, yeah, my floor is on 33.
Cool.
I know, but I think it's also about the Dubai thingy because okay, let's say in Japan, if you say, "Oh, I'm living on the 33rd floor," it sounds like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, you're living in a tawaman," that kind of.
Mm-mm-mm.
But it's not necessarily that super extremely bougie tawaman when it comes to Sanju Sanka in Dubai. I mean, it's a really beautiful place, but just very simple room. You will see when you come over.
超楽しみ。
めっちゃ楽しみ。Oh my.
Well, it is the time of the year,
Yeah.
which is like holidays and Christmas, and I just thought it was kind of fun to talk about
Yeah.
but it's so different, of course, all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we can relate on experiences probably from in Japan, but then like being in Canada and then you're in the okay, what does GCC stand for?
GCC? これね、100%ぶっちゃけ出してないけど、G definitely stands for Gulf. The Gulf.
Gulf, yeah.
Coming from the Gulf Coast, Gulf 湾ね。Gulf Council countries probably, basically. Yeah, as long as people recognize it, it's Gulf, When
The Gulf countries.
Here, it's
So
there.
they're all separate countries, yeah?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
So how do I say? It's almost like a Europe Union, if you can imagine. So they're
yeah.
countries, but basically they are under the same council. They're under the same type of group between the government and also people's lifestyle, and how they also wear and how I don't know, people kind of similar, and yeah, also they're mostly they're Muslim, so yeah,
Yes.
the girls. Basically, the people from this region, we call them Hariji because
Okay.
Hari is an Arabic word that means GCC. So the people from GCC, we call them Hariji. So that's why
Hariji.
yeah, Hariji like KHALEEJI, Hariji.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I call my girls Hariji girls.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, and so is it very festive in your area right now?
In Dubai, yes, it can be. But I would say I don't see that much Christmas thingies yet. I think, when it comes to your country, like Canada, America, the moment they finish Halloween, it turns to Christmas, right? If my understanding was good. Yeah.
Yes.
But I think here still the main national religion is Islam,
Yeah.
they don't really show the Christmassy color that much yet. But
Right.
I see the advertisement posters from the restaurants and places. They started to say like, oh, book your Christmas dinner now and stuff, because it's also true there's so many people coming from America, of course, and like so many people from Europe. So, they're basically doing Christmas. So yeah, Christmas exists for those people mostly.
Yeah.
Mm.
So one of the big thing I thought is like, so Christmas season here, I find like I'm not that religious. Like it doesn't really, like I'm not doing it for religious reasons, but I love the vibe and I love the holiday season. I love thinking about like my family, and like I think I like thinking about what gifts to give, and it's like I just like that part. And then so here I feel like a lot of us get together at Christmas as a like a family time. And then but I think it's interesting, like I would say in Japan that season is more like gantan toka desho, like in the new year a lot of like kids will go home to their hometown, right? Like I can't even remember the well no like I can't remember the Japanese word for like between like the January 1st and 3rd or the 4th, I don't know. Anyway,
元日
あるよね言葉。
あるよね。
あるよね。
元日じゃないの？あれ元旦だっけ？
元旦で三が日とかいうやつ。
あ、そうそうそう。
それは違う日？
やばいね。わかんなくなってきちゃったね。
わかんなくなってきちゃった。
そう、あるね。
So like yeah, so like I think it's cool, like just the differences of like how and like I think Christmas in Japan is just another commercialized day, kind of like give a gift, and I don't think it's that important. Like people use it as
for
as
fun.
an event for fun. Yeah,
like a Halloween.
But like in the Western country, it's more of an actual like a family function. Like it's really important. Like to me, like or to my family at least, it's really important that we get together and
I see
everybody comes home.
I love them.
The cards?
Yeah, the cards, and I also like to see you already having gathering. It's still the early December, but you guys already started somehow.
Yeah. Well, and I just like the physical cards. Like I don't think many people write it anymore. Kind of same with 年賀状?
そうだ、書かないね。
Right?
もう
Like でしょ? But I really like the handwriting, so I still try to do a few up, and like I'll send it to my grandparents, like I'll send it to my mom, even though our postal service is on strike right now, so I can't send anything. Yeah. So
Canada. It can never happen in Japan or even here. Wow.
But like okay, so that's kind of what I was thinking, but we as like it's more of a family thing here as Christmas, but in Japan I think it's quite traditional for people to gather as a family in the new year.
Yeah, that's right, because like first of all, Japan, we are not Christian, and as a like base understanding, like it's coming from Christianity. The Christmas is basically for Christians, so I think this is why. And also, I feel like I don't know, it's gonna be too busy for Japanese people. Like if you do the Christmas and also New Year's, that's the biggest party of the year. That'll be just too busy. So.
Well, that's what I mean is like New Year's is such a big event in like, and that's kind of a 初詣とか that's a very unique like tradition that we do in Japan, right? Like people wouldn't know about it. Well, I mean, like in the Western country, it's not a very common thing. that they would
You guys
understand.
don't do that in Canada? Like something for New Year's? Maybe for the
Well, there's
countdown party.
there's the New Year's Eve party,
うん。
but
うん。
like I've tried to like explain
う
what
ん。
Hatsumode is.
みんなないんだね。やっぱそういう文化
Then, but like they have no idea, and it's hard to explain too. Like,
Honestly, if you ask me what it is, I don't know exactly. なんか、だろうね。一年の健康となんとかを祈るために行く。そのくらいしか言えないかもしれない。
I know isn't it kind of crazy how like certain tradition or like certain things we do,
うん。
like I actually don't even know how to explain it to like somebody from another country.
いやー。
Like sometimes I'm like they're like, well, why
うん。
like for example, 例えばお盆とか、
うんうんうん。
like
うん。
or even like the funerals
う
where
ん。
like in Japan you have a funeral and then sorry, I'm kind of going off topic,
No,
but
no, definitely no. Like,
and then it's like なんて言うんだっけ、なんか何日後にさ魂が持ってかれてみたいなあるじゃん。Like there's
四
a
十九日とかかな。
そう四十九日 that's the word.
うんうんうん。
And
い
then
ろいろ。
there's certain things that I'm I don't even know, and I'm like learning it as I grow. Like I experienced it with my grandfather. Like my grandpa died about 5 years ago,
うん。
and like I didn't even know, like the tradition
うん。
of the things we follow, whether it's like これは神道だからこうとかさ、
本当多いよね、そういうルールとかね。暗黙の
yeah,
なんか習慣とかね。で、多分、
mm,
I think that's something we learn only when somebody close to you in your family pass away. I think until that, it's just like something you see, as you're growing up, there's going to be the moment that we're going to lose our own parents. And I think that's going to be probably the only time we finally really understand like
mm-hmm,
all the rituals. 喪主になっ
yeah,
た時とかね。なんか、
mm,
自分がそのなんかお葬式とか、そういう周りの法事とか運ぶ立場になった時に初めて、なんだろうな。For example, like, actually my grandpa passed away last month. Yeah, I think that was the last
right,
month. And,
yeah,
because I was not able to attend the funeral, but, as a 孫ね、as a 直系の孫として、やっぱり何かしたかったから、I decided to send him the flower and like a big basket of fruit. But like those things, I actually have never ever done it before. Although I
mm,
just have seen it at somebody else's funeral, like I think you also have seen, when you go to the Japanese funeral, there's like a huge basket full of fruits and like a lot of
mm,
flowers with a certain noshi. Noshi, there's like a message card, Japanese traditional message card. Who sent
mm-hmm,
this flower, then they put their own name and stuff. We always see that we actually don't know exactly how should we prepare that? You see what I mean? And then when my
yes,
grandpa passed away, as I was arranging all these, fruit basket and flowers, I actually needed to Google, like, okay, so in this situation, it's not hoji, but it's the actual ososhiki, and
right,
that directly for my grandparents, like which is like a close, family. How exactly should I write on noshi paper and stuff?
yeah,
Because I didn't wanna,なんか失敗してなんか変な風
mm,
にさ、間違ったのしとか貼ったらちょっと近所の人とかに笑われちゃいそうじゃん。
mm,
だから、そこで初めてしっかり調べて、で、初めて
yeah,
自分で準備して、初めてなんか理解できるんだよね。
mm,
あ、なん
that's
か、
yeah,
うん。そうそうそうそうそう。そうじゃないと、本当にお葬式とかって、ルールとかマナーめちゃくちゃ多いからわかんないと思う、正
mm,
直。
mm,
うん。
mm. Sometimes like sometimes I wonder
うん。
now looking back of like I feel like there's so many things we just did or do without really understanding the meaning
So
behind
many,
it.
Yeah.
Or like I think about like at my grandma's house,
うん。
仏様がいるでしょ? So she has the 仏様, and then in the other corner, には神様
神棚ね、あるね、ある。
神棚があるじゃん。神棚があって、and I was trying to explain this to somebody in like who is not Japanese. So we celebrate or we honor our 仏様はなんだis it 仏様は何のあれ What's the religion?
It means Buddha, right? Like 仏っていう
仏教だよね。そうだよね。仏教だよね。So that's Buddhism. But then at the same time, we honor 神棚は is it Shinto?
That's Shinto, yeah. 神イコール。
Right?
そう。
Yeah. So then it's like Japanese is like the most like mixed up religion. Like I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like we're so open to
We are actually, I think in other words, unless it is a 怪しい宗教とか新興宗教とかね。じゃなければ、
Yeah.
we are pretty like open about like, accepting and understanding all different kinds of religion, like without, trying to like let's say for example, in here in Islam, I heard from somebody in GCC region, especially in Dubai, it's not allowed to build a church because it's against Islam, right? They really want to prioritize and it's a Islamic country. So actually, like some of my Christian like people are complaining actually, like why it's crazy because if they come to my country, which is in Europe, of course, we also have a mosque. Mosque is basically a temple for Islam, right? All the other countries are accepting to build mosque in whichever the country they are, but here in this region, it's not allowed to build a church. Although there's so many Christians also living here, so what they do is they usually have the service on Sunday. That some of my friends also go there, so they just personally get together at some places and like do the service like for the Christianity. But otherwise, you're not able to see any other type of temples in this region other than the mosque, which is dedicated for Islam.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very strict. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's lots of other religions in Japan too. I mean, we went to a Christian high school.
Actually, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so, I mean, we did Dehai every morning. And which is fine. And it's like, it's so there's a lot of freedom for religious choices. It's interesting. Actually, you know how like just like how you were talking about sending the flowers for your grandpa's ososhiki. And I actually it's funny because I had it was for a wedding. I've never actually attended a wedding in Japan as an adult. I've never been to one, so I don't really know the rules. わかんないじゃん. And so my friend was getting married a couple years ago. It was during COVID. And so she invited me, but I couldn't fly home. Then my mom actually told me, she's like, well, you should send a dimple.
Dimple ne?
And I'm like, what the hell is a dimple?
Dimple.
I'm so glad my mom understands all those things. And so she actually can teach me. And so then I Googled and I'm like, okay, dimple, and then, or like shukuden, right, is another word. And I actually sent her like a bouquet, like, put together thing, and you can put your own messages in the card. You can like customize everything. And my friend was super happy and excited about it. So, like, that's another example. You just kind of learn as you go, as you experience it. But yeah,
Yeah.
same thing. I
Mm,
had no idea.
me neither. Like, I think the only time I did Dempo was when I was a secretary for 丸紅 like 商社、日本の商社で丸紅って知ってる？
うん。聞いたことある。
そうそう。なんかまあ三菱とかさ、なんかあるじゃん。なんかそのうちが、
丸紅で働いてたの？
そうそうそう、のドバイ支店だけど、で、そこで秘書やってたんだよ。あれ知ら、
うん。
言わなかったっけ？
Well, I think I knew that.
うんうん。
Like, I knew you were doing a secretary, but I didn't know what company you worked for.
I was so fucking useless though. Like, I had no idea what they wanted to give me. Like, it's crazy. Like, I was constantly asking my like manager, like, why am I here? Like, why are you still, keeping me? But now I understand. There's a whole point of just keeping somebody in your hand. So whenever they need somebody handy, you can just go to her or go to him and ask for anything. So
Yeah.
yeah, now I understand, but yeah. So back then, like those shosha, they really put the importance on tradition somehow. So,
Yes.
like
Yes.
some of the top like elite member, when they were getting married or something in Japan, like in like a Japanese branch, of course, as a representative of Dubai, we also needed to prepare a temple for him. And I feel like it's like a whole established system. It's a very like a Japanese traditional thing. Yeah, I don't know who started the tempo system, but probably it's maybe coming from Japan Post, or I don't know. Because I was thinking like, okay, yeah, probably it is like good tradition to
Mm-hmm.
pay a little bit more to arrange the tempo just because it is very formal and traditional way. But I was like, why not? There are like so many other beautiful flowers out there, and if you just put the message card on it, like why not?
Yeah.
It just does the job. But I don't know, Dempo is such a Japanese culture, isn't it? I think
It is.
it's a
It
very
is.
old school in yeah, somehow.
Very.
Yeah, I was like, what's the point? I feel like, this is just very old culture. Yeah, because there are so many
Yeah.
different things today. Yeah.
Yeah. The tradition, keeping
Mhm.
that tradition.
Yeah.
So, personally, do you do anything for Christmas?
For Christmas, literally no. I think maybe the only thing I would do is, if I have somebody to hang out, maybe, I don't know, like we go for like Christmas market or something. But otherwise, personally, no, because I don't know. To me, every single day is a party. So it doesn't seriously, seriously, because yeah, like even right now, I can just, wear whatever I want. I can just whatever I want
Mm-hmm.
to do, and I can just talk to the favorite people, like right now. So it doesn't have to be on a Christmas. Like, yeah,
No.
every single day is a holiday and a celebration. Person,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Will you reach out to your family for like New Year's? Like, do you wish you would be home in New Year's? Like, would you want to be home with your family?
Not really, to be honest. I feel like I want to be with my family at the most beautiful season when it comes to the
Yeah.
climate, most comfortable climate, and also, I don't know. I am not really a big fan of doing something just because that's supposed to be like a ceremonious day. And
Mm-hmm.
also like my parents, like they are not really into doing anything specific for New Year's anymore. So yeah, that's why, even if I go back, they will be sleeping. So I don't know, like there's nothing to do. So it doesn't make any change for me if I go back to Japan in February or March or around
Yeah.
the New Year's. But there might be some exception. Is our grandparents' house, because they're more traditional people, so they
Mm-hmm.
like to make mochi and toshikoshi soba.
Mm-hmm.
Like a soba noodle. Traditionally, Japanese people eat that. They love to prepare that from the scratch because they're also growing the buckwheat in their
Yes.
farm and stuff. So they have all the resources and they're growing them, being excited to actually use them for all these traditional events. Yeah, so
Yeah.
餅つきしたりとかね。 で、そういう時は、まあ、たまに帰ったりとかするけれど、no, I think especially now, I'm living abroad, so yeah, it's kind
Well,
of sad.
yeah, it's
Yeah, but
not as easy. It's not as easy.
I don't do anything much traditional with family anymore for the New Year's time,
Mm-hmm.
which I wish we could do more. But I feel
Yeah.
like, it's always about two to tango. Even if I have a
Mm-hmm.
little passion about it, but if my parents and my brothers are sleepy on the New Year's Eve, what am I gonna do? Just
Yeah.
another day.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of
Yeah,
sad.
I feel like I don't have a lot of I'm not too big on like partying in the on New Year's Eve. Maybe Toshikoshi soba, like
Mm.
sure. But yeah, I think it would be more for me it would be more about once it's a new year, I like to go with my grandma. Like I would go to Hatsumode. I mean, I haven't wait, I feel like I'm trying to remember. I think I was in Japan last winter.
Mm.
Like last New Year's, I think I was. So I went Hatsumode with my mom and my grandma. We went to go Hatsumode together. Yeah. So yeah, like for me too, it's more about that family connection. I'm really excited like during the holiday season, and it's sad because it's not like we see family because it's a holiday, where when you think about it, it doesn't have to be a holiday to like get together with family.
I feel like
But
that's more like my concept. Yeah.
yeah, but the we tend to get busy with our own lives, and we don't make time for people or for our family, and then the holiday gives you a
Mm.
reason
The good excuse.
to it
Honestly,
gives you a
yeah.
good reason to get together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
It's like yeah,
いいよね。
it helps
Yeah.
you
Mm-mm.
get together with family. And
I
I
think, yeah,
like
that's very.
as I get older, it feels like more important to
うん、うん、
me.
うん、うん。
ね。
いやー、私、よくね、考えるんだけど、最近ね、なんか自分がなんか、自分の老後とかなんか自分
うん。
が、子供の世話する立場になった時のこと、すっごい最近よく考えてるんだけれど、というの
うん。
は、I have a little things that I wish, you know, my parents would do that to me, but they didn't. And
Yep.
I don't want to blame on them, but I just want to be like, I just want to do everything that I wish it would happen to me, when I become even older.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So family is very important to me. Like my
Yeah.
future family is gonna be my top
Yeah.
priority to me. And
Yeah.
like you said, it's the good opportunity to get together at
Yeah.
yearly event, お正月とかね、まあそうお葬式と
Mm.
か、まあそういう機会いいよね。なんか、yeah, like a reconnection moment, making sure that,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we are connected.
Yeah.
Because I feel like just because you have your kids, just because you have your family, it doesn't really mean like there's the active conversation or connection in between. I feel like a connection, even in the family, is something we need to work on constantly, which
Mhm.
tends to be really taken for granted, or a lot of people just don't really take care of that anymore, which is so
Mhm.
sad. And this is also something I'm learning so much from my Khariji people, the people from GCC, because they're conservative. Like we say, there's no church, and they're really still conservative about their religion and stuff. But there's a lot of beauty about it because they really cherish the time spending with their family. They really cherish their tradition, their culture. And that's, yeah, like by being a little bit overprotective, like seen by
Mhm.
the international eyes, they are really, how do I say, like taking over their legacy. And I can see that.
Yeah.
And the people are just so rich in enjoying the community in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I have a lot of girls coming to the nail session, taking their friends and sisters together with the session, and only one of them is getting her nails done. So, like during those like 2 or 3 hours, like their sisters or friends, they're not getting the nails done, but they're just, just sitting on this chair, just chatting about whatever and having, they're generally enjoying the company. And I just find it
Yeah.
so cute. Such a simple thing,
Yeah.
but they just do that so casually and like
Yeah.
so voluntarily, which
Yeah.
is super rare nowadays, isn't it? Especially in
Yes.
Japan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Recently I
Yeah.
heard there's a trending word in Japan among the young people. タイパ。聞いたことあるタイパ。
Not
タイパ basically
Taipa?
comes, yeah, タイパ。Time performance. Time performance. タイパ。
Oh my god.
流行ってるんだって、そういう言葉が。だからどれだ
Okay.
けそのタイパを上げるかみたいなのに、みん
Yeah,
ななん
yeah,
か、
yeah. Oh,
そういう、
so it's like コスパみたいな感じね。
そういうこと。だから例えば
コ
YouTube
スパ
とかも、
でタイパ。
そうそう、2倍速で YouTube 見るとか、なんかそういうところ
はい
から、
はいはい。
なんかこの人といってもなんかタイパが悪いみたいな、なんかそういう、ちょっとトレ
Oh
ンド
my god. Yes.
And versus now I'm looking at all these Hadiji girls, they just, like chill and like slowly come to my room and just, 3 hours like doing really nothing but just ha
Yes.
ha ha, having just whatever the chat, but so adorable. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, this is the way how the human beings should enjoy their life, just simply
Yes.
enjoy the companionship.
Yes.
Wow, I'm learning so much from my people
Yes.
from here. Yeah, it's really amazing. And I feel like by seeing all these people and by having all these, like Harichi people around me, it's really nurturing my humanity, which was impossible to do when I was in Japan or when I was already in
Yeah.
Dubai, but never surrounded by the local, the Harichi people, but only by the, like international business people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah means like I'm so grateful in Arabic, but yeah,
How do you say it?
alhamdulillah,
Hamdillah.
alhamdulillah.
Hamdillah.
Yeah, so
Hamdillah.
they're often saying like alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So for example, like when you
Mm,
ask, yeah, the Arabic people, like Islamic people, like how are you today? They usually say alhamdulillah, I'm doing very good. So they're thanking
mm,
the God. Yeah, like I'm like
yeah.
so fulfilled and stuff. Yeah, it's a beautiful
Oh,
word.
that's cool.
It
I
is,
love
yeah.
it. There's some like we just can learn so much from like just expanding and like learning about
Mm,
other people and other cultures, and everybody does different things. And I think when we see the world,
mm,
you either like feel really grateful for like what you have or what you grew up with, or
mm,
you'll learn something better, and
mm,
then you're like, well, I want to do it that way, instead of how I used to do it here, because that's how I grew up.
mm,
Or speaking of how you want to do things for your kids, I feel the same. It's like whatever I was taught by my mom or school or society, there's certain things that I look back and I'm like, it wasn't all perfect. I mean, my mom did the best she could with what she had and what she knew, and she loves me, but there's going to be certain things that I'm going to do differently, right, to my kids. And just from learning other ways, or expanding my knowledge and learning about, yeah, it's just so cool. I think it's just so cool to just keep like learning and expanding and like going out in the world, and like yourself, and you're out figuring it out in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's so cool. It's really cool. And
yeah,
that's why I'm so excited about this podcast.
yeah. なんだろう、こういうさ、I think a lot of important life lesson it's not something we get it from like very expensive experience or like a very like special like setup or whatever, but all this ordinary life moment, I think we can just find a lot of new discovery. Just like for example, me, seeing this ordinary girl just hanging out on the couch, and I'm just learning so much from that.
Yeah.
And I think this is also a beauty about the aging in general. The more we age, I
Yeah.
think the more we are able to censor all these little things to appreciate. So I think it's just really important for us to, to meet many different culture, the many different perspectives. It doesn't have to be like a one big super special expensive event, but
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Just will continue to
Mm, yeah.
learn different things and talk to different people and share
I was
new
also,
things.
yeah, it's so cool. Like you were also making a video with the chat with another guy, and I just found it so interesting. Just by, have a little look at other people's personal insight about the very
Yes.
specific topic. These very personal insight, it's just so interesting to look at.
It is. It
Mm,
really is.
sure.
うん。いや、本当に面白いと思う。I'm really excited for just talking with other people and people with different experiences.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, so like, generally, I think you're sugoi about it. Like, I'm not sure you're aware of that, but a lot of people are not able to do it. They just tend to be so close and like they just want to be blind. If they find like, okay, if they are, how do I say, encounter with a new information or new word or new culture, they just want to close their eyes because it's going to take them so much energy to digest
う
it.
ん。
So they
Mhm.
just want to act as if, they don't want to see it, like they don't want to learn anything from that. But you are like so willing to just keep open your eyes and you just enjoying doing it like naturally. And I think this is a big part of your talent. And I'm so glad that all of these podcast project for you is basically doing the best to enhance your natural talent about it. 本当にすごいと思う。なんか、
Aw, thanks.
なんか、すごいなんか尊敬する、例えばさ、なんかジェニーすごい褒めてくれたじゃん。私がちょっとこう、インスタとかで頑張ってさ、なんか自分
うん。
のやりたいことやって、
うん。
で、純粋にさ、すごいね、とか、なんか、ジェニーもそう自分の好きなことやりたいっていうふうに、こうね、自分の
うん。
夢シェアしてくれたじゃん。でも、
うん。
大半の人って、私が例えばバズったりとか、私がまあちょっとこういうふうに好きなように生活してると、なんか、これちょっとえぐい話なんだけど、もうすごい頻繁に私のストーリーとかチェックしてて、私のコンテンツとかすごい見てるのに、一切声かけてくれない人とか、
う
がほとんどなん
ーん。
だよ。だから、素直じゃないんかなと思ってさ、でも、ジェニーすごい、なんか単純にすごいと思ったこととか、単純にいいなと思ったこととか、例えば、
Yeah.
私に限るジェニーの周りでさ、なんかこの人、なんか私のなりたい像とか私のやりたいなと思ってることもうすでにやってるなと思ってる人がいたらさ、もう普通にオープンになんかジェラシーとか持たずに、すごいですね。こうどうやったら私もこうなれるんですかって多分聞けるタイプだと思うんだよね。それってさ、
Yeah.
実はジェニーそうじゃん。でそれすごいことなんだよ。で普通の人は、なんか、羨ましいねってこう指噛んでね、こう終わっちゃうんだけど、
Yeah.
タイプじゃないから、私それはね、なんかそれができる、こんなに素直な人って、多分、しかもこの年だったらなかなかいないと思うから、本当に素晴らしいと思ってて、そこは、ジェリーの人間性なんだよね。なんか、本当にね、豊かな人間性持ってる人なんだなって、なんかそういう態度を見てて、私思うんだよ。だから、ジェニーこうやって頑張ってやろうとしてるじゃん、いろいろ。私すごい応援したくなるっていうか、なんか、I also want to be part of it, like, I should be also, like, really open about, working with other people, like,
Yeah.
understanding the inside of other people. So yeah, just
Aw, thank you.
本当に
I
なん
appreciate that.
うん。
嬉しい。
ジェニーの
Yeah.
人間性がやっぱ、素晴らしいなと思ってね。うん。なかなかいない
Aw,
と思いますよ。
嬉しい。
ああ。
嬉しい。Well, like, and I think it just comes with, yeah, I don't know. It's, yeah, I appreciate that so much. That's so cool.
すごい素
I just
直
want
だ
to be like I mean myself, I just want to be a better person
うん
too. And and then I think the whole world, like everybody else, can be happier in certain things
うん
if we think certain ways. Yeah. I think there's a chance, like everybody can be happy depending on like how your perspective is. So yeah. Oh, thanks. Well, I'm so excited to keep trying to do this and share some things and see
じゃあ
how
め
it
ちゃくちゃい
goes.
いと思うよ。本当に、なんかね、学ぶことにすごい貪欲じゃん、いい意味でさ。
Yeah.
私
And
ね、
like have fun.
いやいやいや、なんか、てか時間
And
大事
like そうだね. I know. We
今日、
can
この後。
今日ね仕事ないんだ. I
そ
have
う
to
だ。
work.
う
I have to
ん。
work tomorrow. Well, like today I still have to work
うん。
on the farm. Like I have like 3 horses I'm training. So
そうよ
after our
ね。
call, like after our call
そうだ
I'll
ね。
go and
うん。
I'll work the horses and do my chores and do my farm things. So, but
あれ
yeah,
な、
I think
馬とのこの
I'm
生活が、多分ジェニーの心の健康をすごい保ってるんだと思う。だって
yeah, I
大
agree.
馬さんだ
I
って生き
agree.
物だしね、感情があるしさ。That's such a
Mm.
deep intimacy, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a lot of
And
emotion.
there's a reason horses are used quite a bit for like therapeutic
うん。
purposes. I think they're even more therapeutic than dogs, I believe.
マジで。
There's
Oh,
certain
the dog owners will be like, you should make
like
a video about it. It's gonna be viral.
oh my god. it's
Dog.
it's true though, like there's something it has something to do with
うん。
I should make a video. That would
Please crop this part right now and make a video about it and actually get it go viral. I mean, get it, how do I say? You can actually intentionally gaslight all the dog lovers.
yeah. Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah, yeah.
as long as like you don't, I don't know, なんか as long as you don't say anything rude or anything,
Yeah,
you know,
totally. For sure.
then
I agree.
yeah, like you just naturally, gaslight all these
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Just
Well, it has like it's for real though,
mm,
like for autistic kids or older generations or people with PTSD. It has something to do with I can't remember the word, but the horses have the something with the heartbeat. The
mm.
magnetic field
Yeah,
of their
please,
heartbeat
you,
is
yeah.
like 7 times larger than
Oh,
humans or
girl, make that
something.
video.
So they have like they make this like some kind of a I don't even know the science, but it's a thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of therapeutic riding
Mm,
here around like around my place. They're used for therapy, people who have anxiety. It gives them calmness. It's really interesting. I'm not really involved in that side of horses, but it's true. Going back to like you're right. I get to
mm,
spend time with these animals every single day.
mm.
Like I'm sure it affects me in a really good way.
Does. 本当
Yeah.
に豊かに
So,
生きれるよね。
mm,
感
mm.
じ。うん
there's there's a there's something really interesting. I won't go too deep into it, but like I was recently in a car accident
え、
and
いつ
yeah, 1ヶ月前ぐらい。
大丈夫 知
Yeah,
ら
and so I know. And so I suffered like I got a pretty bad concussion.
マジで
So
あの
well, I didn't say much. But anyways, people probably would think that doing all these physical things at the farm would affect me in certain ways, but it's actually the complete opposite. I feel really good doing all the farm things or being with the horses or even riding, But when I go to work at the airport, like being on the computer and doing all this modern things actually was really hard on my brain as I was recovering.
Please, Jenny, make a
So,
video of it, please. Like, you know, it's
yes.
like a vlog on your Insta reel just by saying like, okay, so this is a day, you know, like a 30 or 40 after I got in my car accident, and this is something I learned, you know, because that's very interesting and very informative. People should know, actually.
Yes. Yes.
Mm,
And I
mm.
think in generally I had so many comments of like, "Oh, you shouldn't, like you shouldn't ride,
Shouldn't
right?
or
Like
you
you should stay, yeah, you should stay still, you should be sitting on your couch."
I
But
got
they just don't understand
you.
what goes on in the brain. Like I didn't even understand, but
Mm,
it really surprised. I was super surprised
mm,
of
mm,
how much I was like I was drained. It was so draining to go to work, even though I don't really move. I go on my computer, I check people in, like that's all I'm doing. But my brain was so affected by it.
mm,
And not many people would think that.
mm.
So yeah, it was very interesting.
Mm. It
It was an
is.
interesting experience.
Please
Yeah.
make a reel about it.
I will. I will. And the dog thing.
Yeah, I think the key for going viral is to how much you can gaslight people actually. But
Totally,
you know,
totally. That
yeah, the
that
view is everything.
being super controversial.
Yeah,
Uh okay, well,
yeah,
that was super fun.
yeah.
We should probably wrap it up. Well, thank you so much for your time.
ありが
I
と
always, arigato. I always enjoy our chat so
う。ね、
much. So,
話ができ
嬉しい。
る間違えて、
うん。
本当にありがたいです。ありがと
So,
う。うん。
have a good night. It's もう夜だもんね。I hope you
そう。
have a good night.
じゃあ今日も一
And
日お元気で。お
あり
元気。
がとう。ありがとう。
うん。
じゃあま
またね、
たね。
連絡するね。
バイバイ。
バイ。
Bye bye. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of a Cowgirls World Tour podcast. If you liked the episode, please give us a thumbs up or a review. Any little bit helps me keep going on this journey of my passion project. So I appreciate you so much, and I will talk to you on my next episode. Thank you.